Hey, look who's here. Hey, Mean Matt.
Hey, Mean Matt here.
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 Hey, Mean Matt here. So, I didn't watch Raw. I saw it on YouTube, and I was up watching SmackDown with Kyle, and so this is my problem. Now, we're gonna get his side of the story and his thoughts in a bit, but and there's a lot of people who say that this show was bullshit. And I tend to agree because here's the thing. In 2002, you had the brand split, or on SmackDown. You had the WWE Champion. Whoever won could go to both brands. The only person to go to both brands was the champion. And then it kind of fizzled. Now, in my opinion, the WWE has pretty much poo-pooed this whole thing. And it's like, okay, a couple years ago, they did the brand split. What did they do? It was Super SmackDown. So you had people from Raw go over to SmackDown, have a couple matches. Now, my issue is why have the brand split anyhow? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. There should be the champions, the Universal Champion. Yes, I know that it's a Raw title, but hear me out. If the Universal Champion goes over to SmackDown, then they change the title from red to blue somehow. The WWE Champion, well, maybe that won't work either. But I still think the champion, and it doesn't matter what championship, Intercontinental, US, tag team titles even, they should go from one brand to the other. They're the champion. But it seems like this past Monday you had a lot of wrestlers from SmackDown going over to Raw, and I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. Why have the brand split? When I watch SmackDown, and I think that SmackDown's still a very good show, it's better than Raw. Sorry, but that's just the way I see it. SmackDown made a lot more sense. Now, Raw wasn't all that bad. No, I didn't see all of it. So, I honestly can't tell you my full opinion. Although the Bray Wyatt segments are amazing, I think. But, we'll see when that happens. My problem is that the brand split shouldn't happen, and they should just let Raw people go over to SmackDown. And this whole thing with McMahon and his new rule, I think, is stupid. That's my opinion. That's just the way I see things. I don't really know. It's fucking dumb, in my opinion. But I've already said that, so let's go over to earlier when I spoke with Kyle, and we'll see what he says. You know, a difference of opinion, I guess. But we'll see. And I was talking about whatever the hell happened last night. Like I said, I never saw it, and it kind of makes me sick to my stomach because you had the brand split, and now all of a sudden it's like, okay, 4 guys from Raw can go to SmackDown, 4 guys from SmackDown can go to Raw. Like, I didn't see SmackDown, like, in the beginning. It looks great so far, but
yeah, they really messed us at the beginning. And I mean, when you have the superstar shakeup, it really makes things interesting because you don't know who's gonna go from Raw to SmackDown, who's gonna go from SmackDown to Raw, and up until that point, there were different superstars kind of swapping brands, and some of them would end up on both brands individually, like a Lacey Evans, or a Ricochet and Aleister Black, or maybe a EC3, or whatever. So now that they have this wild card aspect, it's taking that and carrying it on, and it'll be really interesting because it can be at any point in time. Like, this is only just came about as of last night, so from now until the end of the year, you could see anybody end up on Raw or SmackDown. It could be the WWE champion, it could be the Universal champion, Tag Team champions, Becky Lynch, Finn Balor, or anyone else, male or female. And so, with all of that, you have an interesting aspect, and not only that, but having the potential of having a Raw superstar or tag team on Raw or SmackDown potentially going for a championship makes it all that much more interesting as well. And I'm not exactly sure how far they're going to go with this concept, but it's really making it interesting. Yes, there is Matt's point of the whole brand split thing, but I mean, there's still technically that aspect, but it seems more to be like for a singular unit, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just Monday Night Raw, just SmackDown, there seems to be a lot of both the brands, and especially with like the pay-per-views. So, I mean, is there still a brand split? In a way, is it an all the way thing? Not really. It just seems to be with certain aspects of it, like with Shane McMahon being like the best in the world, and him being kind of in charge of SmackDown, sort of, and Mr. McMahon essentially being in charge of Monday Night Raw, although really it's supposed to be the fans, just like, there is still the aspect of, different matchups. Anybody can go for a championship. You can see any two pair up at any given time.
Yeah.
There just still seems to be that aspect of, and like even the McMahon said, they're not going to have a general manager, they're not going to have a commissioner, they're not going to have any whining, complaining, all this other stuff, but there's still sort of a leadership, and it seems to be that mainly, like, Mr. McMahon and Shane are the heels out of the family, the black sheep, if you will, and kind of doing whatever it takes to get their own way. Now, one thing I've noticed that is interesting, and I don't really know if they're gonna take it very far and do something with it, is it seems like Shane McMahon has his own faction, if you will.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's been working alongside the likes of Elias, Bobby Lashley, the B Team. I think there might be one or two others in there, and it's like, whenever Shane has a problem, he has superstars he can go to deal with said problem. Although a lot of the problems seem to be coming from Miz and a little bit of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see how it goes from here on out, but, I mean...
My whole thing is, if we're gonna do that, like, I'll tell you, when it was a few years ago, they did the brand split, but they ended up going SmackDown Super Show. So it was Raw and SmackDown anyways.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, then just forget about the brand split. Let's just go Super SmackDown, Super Raw. Because it's really... just, I don't know. It still seems fishy to me. I would much rather have the champions on both brands. Kind of like in 2002.
Well, I mean, like, you still have Kofi Kingston as your WWE champion on SmackDown. Seth Rollins as your Universal champion on Raw. You've got, right now, Daniel Bryan and Rowan as the tag champions.
Right.
It was the Hardys, but they had to give up the titles. And,
Yeah, Jeff is injured now.
And you got Finn Balor as your Intercontinental champion. The United States champion is... I can't freaking remember who it is. And then you've got Becky Lynch as the Raw SmackDown Women's champion. So, I mean, you still have your individual champions,